Do I start it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll just go ahead and start. We got Emma Couch here, a senior, and Taylor Frizzell over here, a junior. And I'll just start off about the game. Thought that at halftime, I didn't think we were playing our best in the first half. We talked about it. I think that maybe the lights were a little bright, and playing in that venue, I felt like we were kind of shell-shocked in the first half. We weren't ourselves. We weren't who we were this entire season and in these last few playoff games specifically. But we kind of challenged them at halftime, and I felt like the way they came out in the second half and showed that's who we are. And I couldn't be more proud of a group. Had individuals, you could go around on each one of them, but these two here, just the team as a whole, I think extremely proud of how they played and responded to adversity.
Coach, talk a little bit about your three seniors, the way they were able to fight back. It seemed like every time you set the tone, Incarnate Word would come back and answer, and yet they forced the issue and got us as far as we went.
Right. It's a grind, and these seniors, they've laid it all on the line. They've been our rock. Just like tonight, as you just stated, Tom, it's what they've done all year. Anytime there's been adversity, they have stepped up. Emma stepped up when we couldn't get things going, drove in, started hitting shots. Now she became a threat. Emma's always been a threat on defense. All right, she's one of the best defenders I've ever coached. And she's an undersized post, but I don't care how big the post is, I'll put her up against anybody because she's got about as much heart as anybody I've ever been around. Callie, just a beast inside, you know, we had a big block at the end, had a play at the end of the game there I thought she made. You know, Grace, Grace is just, there's nothing I don't think that's ever going to get to that girl. The big shot she hit, three after three, and she's done that all year as well. When there's the big moment comes up, Grace is the one that seems like there's ice in her veins. She's not afraid to shoot the three and go in and get rebounds too. She battled. She played hard tonight.
Talk about the game inside between the two bigs, between Wolfman and Callie.
Yeah, I thought it was a good battle. You know, we knew she could play. Felt good about it. Didn't know how many girls she went against that was bigger than her, but she was physical. She did a good job, and Callie ends up being our leading scorer and 5 total rebounds there. So yeah, it was a good battle between the two of them. Is that girl senior for Kearney Word? They're big.
I don't think they're beat writers here. So
she's a junior. All right, yeah, she's a good player. So yeah, when we have battles all the way. You can look at individual matchups in a game like that. There's battles all over the floor. I mean, that's just the way it goes. We went to overtime. You know.
All right, Emma, what's it like knowing you got one game tomorrow, and then that's it for your high school career?
Honestly, I'm lucky. Most seniors don't know when their last game is, and most of the time after they lose, they don't get another one to redeem themselves. So I'm lucky enough to come back and leave a better mark than a loss, and on a high note.
Taylor, talk about the game a little bit and your feeling as it ebbed and flowed back and forth, getting behind a little early and then coming back and forcing overtime.
Like Coach Russell said, first half was one of our rougher halves. But I think since we were down, it made us fight even harder. And so second half we came out, we really wanted it, and it showed. And lots of people hit big shots, like Caroline in the fourth quarter and Grace. And Emma drove, Callie got rebounds, everyone contributed, and I really thought we stepped it up and played as hard as we could second half.
Coach told me, I don't think it's any secret, you're a big fan of this group of players, this team that you've assembled, and kind of thought this might be the one. And as hard as you fought, and the ebbs and flows of this game, and the emotions turning one way or the other, how bad does this one hurt?
It's bad. You know, thank you, Scott.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You know, these kids, they're special. I tell them all the time, I know they're smarter than I am. Shouldn't say a lot, but I know they're smarter than me. They're just they're the best kids that you could be around. And it sucks to know that, because that's all we've been talking about. We didn't come down here, this wasn't Disney World to us. This was a business trip. We wanted to make history. There's never been a state title, and they wanted to be the first, and I feel like they deserve to be the first. I think they played well enough to be the first, or at least have a shot at it, you know, tomorrow. But I know coaches say this, but I mean it. I would not trade locker rooms with anyone else in the state.
What are your thoughts on the final seconds in overtime on the foul and the shot?
It was tough. I mean, officials are put in spots that, you know, I did it. I know that you're put in spots that are almost impossible at times, and then you get second guessed, you know. So I told him after the game it didn't come down to the last play. You know, there's a lot of things that could have happened. Just to answer your question point blank, I just felt like the foul was on the ground if there was a foul. I feel like personally, my big straight up, and I'm not complaining now. I'm just going to have to go back and watch it. I could be wrong. I've been wrong a time or two in my life. So she could have not been, but I felt like she was straight up enough where the contact was kind of going into her. Wasn't expecting a charge or anything, but I was expecting either a no call or when the whistle blew, I was like, I really wasn't worried because it was on the ground, is what my brain told me. I could be wrong. It could be the greatest call ever. He might have nailed it. But to me, it was on the ground, and I knew that we only had 5 fouls. So I knew they were taken out. So I immediately go right away to thinking for that split second, okay, now we got to get our inbounds defense set. Do I need to call a timeout here? Is he going to call a timeout? You start doing that just in those split seconds, and then all of a sudden his fist went and to call it the and one. And as I've done before, I disagreed. But that didn't cost us the game. It is what it is. Got to make more plays, I guess.
Anything else? Thanks, guys.
Okay. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Right back in. I was like, I was playing field. I was like, I haven't been able to do that.
No, it's good.
That is a good question. It really was. Kept getting me. All right. What can I do? What do you think? What do you think? Huh? Was it? Not the one we should be. We didn't call him on him. We only know we called him our Cal. She's straight up. Look at him. Her hands are fucking straight up.
Let's go back to what is the fucking defense going on?
Yeah.
I mean, what did she?
Just straight up, and the girl came into her. Oh, it's not like she went into her.
Yeah.
Oh well, shit happens, right?
I agree with you.